So I don't know what the video is going to be called, or the title of this video is going to be called, but I do know what I'm doing, and maybe, I mean, again, future Jordan can figure it out. But if nonetheless, we are going to be working with characters that have weapons, so we'll start with Mimi first, and we'll do what I plan to do for this video. So, let me check this really quickly, because I need to randomize, quote-unquote, randomize things. 7 into 6. So that is going to be Scar's character exclusive Mimi. Oh, Scar's Mimi. But nonetheless, what we really want to, or what I really want to test out is the legal den. So this is more a controlled test, but obviously this doesn't apply for over half the characters, I think. But still, nonetheless, if I get a quick play character and it's Mimi or Moriko, or are those really the only two? Charisma, Strength, Knowledge, and Takashi-san. Then I can figure it out. Also, Takashi-san is a maybe, so I might want to hold back on the cigarette use, but we'll see if I do that. So, because Mimi already has a weapon, and you know, Scalpel isn't the greatest weapon, most people choose to replace it. I'm gonna work the illegal den and see how that works out. Well, along with, you know, sliding variables in here and there, if it makes any sense to say, is what I think a lot safer for me to try out. That said, I do have Ward as well, so we just happen to luck out here. But that's part of what you have to think about when you take your sub-locations, is what you might run into. If you want to go for Chainsaw, you must have the hardware store, unless you can get fuel somewhere else. If you want to avoid Ward, you need to have the hospital pass, unless you're using a modded character that has a hospital pass. So, and yeah, I think we'll use it to its most, and we'll also look here. Okay, so again, I usually always look here first. 10 Doom for potentially 14 Reason. You know what? Funny enough. Okay, so we actually won't take an ally, but that's because History Club was there, and we did get the hospital pass, so it's not the worst thing in the world. Nice 12 roll, by the way, game. But yeah. Seaside Mansion. I think I do have Vigil, so let's switch this while getting the handcuffs. And if not, well, I guess I'll find out. Nonetheless, I'm in footage anyway, so I need to visit this place twice. For the sake of my own RNG. I should just do this now. Yeah, I should just do that because I'm topped off on stamina. Obviously, the push and pull between that is that you're not always guaranteed to heal stamina. If anything, it's a very low chance if you succeed in events. But the flip side of that is, or the main reason not to do that, as I check his wounds for clues, both as a Mimi lore choice, and I didn't check the mansion twice, did I? Well, shoot. That's what I get for thinking of too many things at the same time. Welcome to this channel, by the way. Nice charisma check. But to return to the topic, yeah, having maxed out stamina, again, for me is a bit riskier, because sometimes I'll heal, and knowing my luck, I may heal. But obviously, the main point against that, I don't want out of fun, so I'll take the reason hit instead, is that, yes, you're going to get hurt anyway, and the chance of you healing, you're eventually going to take more stamina damage. Still, that doesn't remove the chance of you getting stamina healing done, or reason healing, but in this case, I'm using Mimi's thing, so it's stamina healing. We also need to do this at least once. No, I wouldn't have been able to, right? Let's find out. Yeah, 13 health, yeah. Anywho. But, yeah, there is a chance, however small it is, there's a chance of you healing stamina, so I might as well not be topped off and then quote-unquote waste stamina, then run into an event and heal stamina. And again, you could say, well, you're going to take stamina damage anyway, so don't you want as much as possible, therefore don't use Mimi's personal item or other items of the sort. But at the same time, I'd argue back, if you're going to heal later anyway, you might as well take the healing and then get hurt, or yeah, get hurt and take the healing, then healing while you're topped off and then get hurt. But again, it's not like the other way doesn't apply, because if you just get hurt, you could just never heal. But by the way of events, usually. At the same time, it's not impossible. Arms, hold on. Arms. Yeah, let's do arms first, and then we'll do ward second, because we might be in timeline B arms. But yeah, you could. I have seen and have been through playthroughs where I went through a mystery and didn't get any stamina or reason damage at all. So And my own personal theory is that I take most of the time I'm taking reason damage anyway. So therefore, if I'm therefore going to be taking less stamina damage, that's just... There are only so many events that can conflict on whether you take reason or stamina. And also, you have control over what you choose in most events, so... You know, and we could work a numbers game. I did have a numbers game around that. I did have an idea for what I might have wanted to do, but I think I decided against it. Keeping in mind, I do have the, I think the Cursed Doll, question mark? I just didn't bring it with me for some reason. No, I didn't. What did I take? I took First Aid. Yeah, I took First Aid. So, yeah. Anywho, that's reasonable. I'd rather check the bathroom and lose stamina here. So, because even though I'm at max reason, so theoretically I should have lost reason. Here I'll trade reason, but we'll see. Actually, let me take out... No, there's nothing else. Multiply wound. Regain 4 stamina, 2 reason. I guess. Actually, for Mimi, that could be good, but we didn't run into the boss fight anyway, so it's fine. And we did lose Bath, however, so, yeah, what are we on? Bath. Okay, so, reason for Doom. So that actually costs, well, probably 3 Doom. I think it tacks on 1 extra Doom on top. And we don't have Bath anymore, so this bottle is basically about to get thrown. But let's get into reward now, because we're probably as healthy as we're going to be. And we might as well use this hospital pass while we're here. If we need the painkillers, we'll go get it. I know I've forgotten about it before, but... Anywho, so yeah, we'll trade reason here. In another way, you can think of low max reason as working with a lower threshold, because you don't... Again, for me, anyway, I know I don't want to be topped off. At the same time, I don't want to be too low. So this is a bit too low. 3, I'm a bit more comfortable with if I have max 7 reason, but anywho. But yeah, if I max reason or stamina fall low, I'm willing to go a lot lower. I mean, I'm willing to go lower, not a lot lower. That's incorrect. Meanwhile, we have 2 Doom here, so this will give us pretty much... Whatever Doom damage I'm taking here is essentially what I'm spending to heal reason, because I do have First Aid. So 4 Doom for 2 reason, fair enough. It's not the best, but to me it's neutral. Unless, obviously, I'm dying to Doom. But, again, that's what you have to think about as you move through the game with your strategies in mind. This one being more, I think, in my opinion, more stable. That said, we're probably not going to fight this boss, because it's going to hurt. I could try to handcuff her. I guess now her. 3 stamina, and then I can multiply wound as well. Oh, no, maybe I multiply wound now. What can I get? I forgot how much double damage I do. That's not good, man. 12. Okay, 12, so he's 16 HP. Multiply wound. I guess for science. Actually, I think that gets me out. Because I have handcuffs. So, not brace. Where's desperate action? Please. Yeah, we'll do this, and we should be able to handcuffs our way out. If not, well, I'll just die. But either because I missed the button or I miscalculated the damage, but we're fine. Really, if that is a bug, just Pantstas, just please leave it in. If you want to fix it, I mean, you can. It's your game, so you know. Yeah. And again, the counter argument to me wanting it to stay is that you can say that, oh, well, that's not supposed to happen, so therefore, you know, bosses aren't supposed to die that way, or it makes certain bosses too easy. But in the case of Harbinger, I guess just die if you won't allow us to do that. But anywho, Vigil with 4 stamina. I can't. Do I have fetid fumes? Is the question. I don't. I'm gonna take a risk though, so we could lose a lot of stamina either by the Vigil or elsewhere. But I actually, with Doom, I might want to purposely fail the Vigil. I think I'm gonna do that, especially since we have the Ritual Mask now, which doesn't help my stamina, but it helps my HP overall. You ultimately will dodge well, not even an average, but there's a good chance of you dodging 1 attack. If you dodge more than that, or dodge more reason damage than that, than 1 attack's worth, then you have good RNG. Me, I don't believe. So, even though I employ strategies from time to time more often than I probably should that rely on RNG, but around half of the time, I want to say I'm looking at, I have like a 70% chance or 80% chance for good things to happen, like if to hit 2 times or to roll an event because I have like 8 knowledge, 7 strength or something, but we've seen how that goes. So does this allow me to break a threshold? What's my optimal play here? I think throw empty. No, it's not. No, it's not. Who am I kidding? Can I brace with this? Close. I need 1 more strength, funny enough. I could try to multiply wound again, but I would need 8 damage after. Alternatively, okay, how much is this? 3 doom for 4 stamina. Also, I think regeneration causes a ZKS loop. I usually don't like to name names, but I will give credit where credit is due, unless the person in question doesn't want me to mention them anymore. But what I mean by ZKS loop really quickly for 10-15 seconds is that there are certain combinations of item spells and or perks in game that basically allow you to get an infinite amount of X or decrease Doom however much you want, because so for example, again, this is not a true example, but say you have regeneration, you could regain 4 stamina, but you also have memory extract, and then you have some other item or perk that allows you to get experience. Essentially you go positive. A loop where you go positive is an infinite. So you heal 4 stamina, you lose 2 reason, but you gain 2 reason back by spending 10 experience doing memory extract. And then you get experience doing the way that you were getting experience, and you basically become positive. So in this case, it would be infinite amount of healing, or pseudo-infinite if you don't have a way to regain experience, or you're just holding on to a big bank of experience. But those are things to think about. Although we are in Ath, so it costs Doom instead, but if I had a Doom loop, then you get what I mean. And most of the time, the person figuring out these things is ZKS, which is why people need to be careful when they're putting forth changes here and there that ultimately buff, because in this game, because 1 point can mean a lot, even right now certain loops are even or close to even, they're just still negative by 1. You have to watch out, because otherwise we get a ZKS loop. Again, it's because the person in question finds the loops the most is that person, but the same is true for other things. Now, I guess we could stop and think for a while, even though I said this was going to be a 15-second tangent, unless that was something else. But I do need to think, because I want to think. I could throw the meat cleaver or no, just throw the meat cleaver, right? Anywho, let me think for that for about 20-30 seconds while I... So, shoot, I'm losing my train of thought. So many things to think about. This is what I get. Oh yeah, the counter argument is that, well, what are the odds you're going to get both of these spells exactly, and then this perk in this run? And, you know, truthfully, it is quite low, but other people would argue against that, saying, well, the fact that it's there means it's possible. I think it's a bit more balanced in that way. We can't have too many of them, obviously, but I don't think not removing those loops or things like, again, handcuffs, throwing, even though that's a different topic, removing these things that benefit the player ultimately, because objectively they do, isn't going to hurt the game too much, because basically, unless the developer or there's enough push to remove, you know, infinites like that, or things that, you know, are quote-unquote OP or very, very good for the player, especially on Harbinger, but that's more a me thing in-game. Even though, if we move, again, whenever you want to include difficulty, objectively, really, even True Believer at this point is too easy. Heck, that's why, well, for me specifically, that's why I made all those challenge videos. It's hard to do so now because Harbinger is tightening that limit somewhat, but I can still play around with it just to have fun, and because I want the challenge. At the same time, you can fire back on that debate and say, well, not everyone's gonna not try hard, but in this case, I'll demean myself and say try hard or sweat or meta the game, but. And then I personally can fire back, well, it's a video game, you usually want to win, you don't want to lose, you usually don't play a game to lose. You can say, and you can try to use the defense, well, I wanted to have fun whether I win or lose, but I think most people usually want to win, and having fun is part of it, but your priorities in that's more subjective. And then on the topic of difficulty, it's, yes, and most people probably won't play the game for, like, 100 runs, even. So, Yeah, there is some merit to the thing of, well, you only play on Harbinger, and I'm not going to play on Harbinger. But at the same time, you can't just exclude the minority in that case, because I've seen it in other games as well. If you believe me or not, I mean, use your own evidence based on what you know. But if the veteran, if you don't have, because there is a negative to just having only old blood, because eventually you just have a, you don't have not in no innovators, but you don't have new people coming in to basically boost the numbers, and eventually the numbers will dwindle. At the same time, if there's not enough, veterans able to defend the game and say where there are good things, then new players is just gonna jump in and no one's gonna stay, for sure. And then new players, if they were gonna play the game and not play it for longer than 20 runs anyway, even base minimum, because obviously in this day and age, I think I've more than decided I'm gonna throw both of these. In this day and age, people want to get their achievements, and then they probably stop playing for good reason. Again, I'm not gonna assume everyone just plays World of War. There are other games coming out that deserve the time and the chance, but at the same, again, you need to have at least people who know the game vouching for it, because if not, that's just a loss of support. And that's how you bring at least the people who want to stay or want to do more for World of War, especially since this game will have has content that you can mod in or add in to yourself. So literally, at this point, the World of War has more modding potential than I would even say 80% of the games on the market. Including AAA, because even and you see it in AAA games that have modding that are. No, even just modding, because even if the game itself is either overbalanced and or quote-unquote bad, mods can make it so that it's not in that state anymore. So, but back to the main point of what we're talking about is that, again, if you're staying on difficulty, most of the people who are playing the game and continue to play it are on Harbinger, because eventually at some point, or at least for a certain subset of people, me included, we realized that if we didn't have Harbinger difficulty, or even if we didn't have Harbinger and True Believer difficulty, some people might have not been playing the game anymore. I might have still been playing the game, especially since there's modded content, but that's me, and I can't speak for other people who like the challenge. That said, I am quote-unquote dead here, unless I forget a spell. So, yeah. Also, I am on sudden death, but you don't die in certain cases when you reach 0. Only when you get hit and reach 0, which, speaking of which, let's see. Do I want to fight this at all? Probably not. So, this is my 4th mystery, so it's a bit better, or it's fine for me to run away from 1, maybe. Basically I have the Doom to feel comfortable. But anywho, that argument, I can make a whole video. In fact, I stopped for a bit too long, so I should probably timestamp that moment. I'll make a note of it right now really quickly. Give me a few seconds. Timestamp talking about World of Horror. Anywho. And then let's move on. I've completely forgot my second encounter because, yeah. If I were a better player in general, I would remember what my second encounter was through me talking about the balance of the game and whatnot. But again, if nothing else, I want your brain to be flowing, whether you agree with me or not, and or we can have a civil conversation. Yeah. So, anywho, I am gonna still do 2 runs, so I'm gonna do that, which means I probably should speed up here. We're on Sailors. I would probably need a history club, but we'll find. I'm gonna do this. We still have a chance of leveling up, so I won't use all of my experience, but I do want, well, the brick is nice, but mainly cigarettes. We'll prepare once, and we'll move on. If nothing else, we'll throw the brick away. We'll definitely throw the hospital pass away. Actually, I should do that now. And then we will wait to see if we need the brick or something else. I can throw the ritual mask away anyway. If I had to choose, I would rather throw the ritual mask away than thing, and with Mind Wipe, I should have just spent. So, I mean, that's a very minute case. The chances of it happening are low, but I would have just... the me in me wanted to just spend all my experience to get funds, but, because I don't want to Mind Wipe that ends up killing me, unless I want to visit the tree for something, but... Anywho, I should actually lower that. I think we have a few more, so I'm going to police station this really quickly. Not that. and then we enter, so I don't get an extra point. Even though I spent 1 doom there going in, but hey. Do I want to... I need a monument. So stamina, please. Thank you. And we'll move on. It could have asked for reason, which would have been bad, but thankfully it didn't. And yeah, we throw the brick away to avoid the boss, which we were on timeline B. So, yeah. Bye! And away we go. So we'll take this, and we'll even smoke the cigarettes, because that should last me till Takshi-san. I think it's minimum 9? I don't think it's ever 7, but let's make sure what we have in the lighthouse. I mean, I'll take the moral victory if I end up dying to second encounter, but we do have the... What, we don't have the 6th floor. Never mind, I don't need to smoke those cigarettes. I mean, it was reason healing, but let's just be sure. So we take 3 reason, we take 3 stamina, 6... No, just 3 stamina. And then maybe, even if we fail both of those doom checks up there, second mystery and second encounter, we should survive. So that gives us drenched. Is that a bug? Because technically, I guess this is the seaside, quote-unquote, but I feel like just looking at the semantics... Anywho. I don't remember. Well, I don't remember. I probably wasn't that, all things considered. I did arm second? Yeah. But, yeah, that by the semantics, that should only happen in seaside. Otherwise, yeah, seaside location, and this is the seaside, but lighthouse as well. I mean, I guess it makes sense, but it could be a bug, but lore-wise it makes sense. So something like that, even though that hurts me, I don't mind that being in the game, because 1, it's not a game breaker, and 2, even though it's a bug, you know, funny enough, it's fair. So we'll do that Mimi run. I feel like I'm forgetting someone who has a weapon from Mystery 1. We'll quick play just to roll something at ill-fated, character-specific Moriko in this case, unless there's another character I'm forgetting about, or custom characters, that applies too, but right now we're working with base stuff, so not Miku, Moriko, let me just run through just to be sure. Yeah, so I think it's just Moriko and Mimi, which, you know, is a very small amount of the cast, but theoretically, Kyrie as well would apply to what I'm doing for this video as I go and check. Actually, ill-fated, right? Ill-fated? If it's not ill-fated, so be it. Whatever. This is low stakes and Ath, right? I could re-roll this, but we'll do Ath, ill-fated, character-specific Moriko. I see we have skin removal, but I forgot what the effect was. There are a lot of things in game that I don't remember. Not just, well, to me, it would be because, so this is actually, what, 4 Doom for 6 damage? But to me, I forget because it's simply, certain items or spells or perks are not optimal, so I forget their effects or the fact that, usually for items that they even exist. But anywho, Takshi-san, second encounter, maybe strength, that would be nice, but I'm definitely not getting dexterity and charisma up. Light check. So, the developer's slowly doing it, and I can talk about that as well, where, implementing changes so that the meta shift, so that, I mean, the thing is, maybe the developer doesn't have it in mind, where you want people to use things or do things more often. Unfortunately, we don't have enough incentive still, even though the chainsaw was changed to perception and the katana was changed to dexterity. Again, I fired to theorize, maybe it's because there are too many weapons that are strength? Question mark? I don't know about that, but even if that weren't the case, or even if that were the case, or regardless of what case it is, strength is still going to be useful because just there's still enough incentive, even though Brace has been nerfed. I can actually, let's count this as I go through Coma, Footage, Vigil, Botanist, Ramen. I'm going to do Footage. Yeah, even though Brace has been nerfed, and technically the chainsaw probably the only weapon I would take on Harbinger, so it applies to me, but if you want to do it yourself, flamethrower, those have been changed from strength scaling to dexterity perception. And I think I feel like there's a third one that basically strength is nerfed, but even then though, again, those are small changes and we're slowly being pushed towards it. At the same time though, because the Witch's Tree was nerfed and Monument is nerfed, it makes our stamina and resource more valuable to us because we know that we don't have ways to basically do other things, which I personally don't want, I guess. So what let me History Club here. And then Illegal Den, as I said. So we'll take these. We'll take as many allies as to 20 Doom, because that's usually where we end. And since I don't have Coma, I don't think I'm going to do any more. That said, these are not... This actually, again, it depends on how many injuries I get, so I have to be unlucky, which I think I am, but... yeah, basically, still, if you want my opinion, there's not enough reason to not build into strength still. Because, and also, again, the developer would have to continue nerfing strength either directly or indirectly. Indirectly would be changing the monkey wrench to like a knowledge weapon or something like that. You get what I mean. Let me see though. I forgot what I had. I'm just gonna switch Seaside. I'm mainly coming in here for the handcuffs, but brace is the big one because you still want to brace. If you can't brace anymore, then the meta will shift, but I don't know if it's gonna. Anywho. I forgot to visit the mansion again. It's fine, I guess. It's not fine if I go through all of these. Oh, that's right, I'm ill-fated. And then again, I consider myself a standard, not like because I'm like, oh, I'm a shining example, but if I'm doing this relatively well on Harbinger, and this is including, this is especially if you consider that I make the mistakes that I do, then yeah, Harbinger is still not as hard as it could be. It is challenging, and RNG is a big, if not the biggest factor in your survival in Harbinger, but still, most of the time, a good strategy, which is good. You want, at least for World of Horror, it's good to have making sure that strategy still wins out, or at least having different ways, again, to me, is what I wanted to talk about, different strategies that can all succeed on Harbinger, even if they're, I wouldn't say, you know, near to impossible to do, but because I don't think anyone would agree with that. But even if the strategy has a low chance of happening, in World of Horror, I think the part that shines to me the most is that in World of Horror, there are strategies where if you see them, you can act on them. Right now, the biggest example is Koji Fast Hands, for me, anyway. Granted, it's not going to be useful most of the time. I know that as a fact. But when you see the opportunity, like an example I can think off the top of my head is if you have eels at the beginning, so you have Kana, and maybe you are also on scars, so enemies do 1 damage, and then maybe you lose Kana because, I don't know, you lose Kana, or you have other ways of, or damage just increases because you get burns that you can't heal, say, I don't know, in Vigil or something weird like that, then you can store that damage from Fast Hands and that you used improvising for a full, again, I say minimum 14 damage, but 14 damage if you're stuck in Vigil, I mean, we'll test it out. We'll test it out. The next encounter we run into, let's see if 14 damage matters. So yeah, 3 claps on a bow, by the way. But that's what I mean by you have more things. You're not always, well, you are, in my opinion, you'll probably be, I would advise people, I keep forgetting I'm ill-fated. I would advise you get the monkey wrench or the heavy-duty flashlight, or you stick with hardware stored monument, unless you believe, like I do, that you may run. I already ran. Am I gonna run into it again? These aren't great either. I might actually. No, I don't want to re-roll anymore. Fine. I'll build into luck, or I'll take outdoorsman just in case. I don't remember, by the way, if I have any more forest investigations. But, yeah, even though the strategy most of the time is going to be not static, you can use other strategies if either you see the chance or you feel like doing so, and doing so is also plays into your success. For example, for me, a big example is when I go to get cigarettes at the vending machine. The brick is nice. In fact, that's what most people would want, but I mostly go in there to pick up cigarettes because Nicotine Rush to me is more an endgame buff that I use to make sure that I can do events more properly. Also, it helps me combat against the nursed brace action, so anywho. But yeah, so 14 damage here, 7 HP, and then if I did that, I know I'm more going to have the old shotgun, but even then, if you're Koji with the monkey wrench, 14 damage is 7 HP, and the monkey wrench does 7 when prep strong. Otherwise, if you're using usually another normal weapon, you get prep attack, or you have a good chance of doing 2 attacks in a turn. So yeah, 14 damage is a lot. Especially if this Puppet Matron was, say, Mystery 4, and so it would be doing, or she would be doing -3 all damage, and you don't have the brace action available because you don't always have 7 strength, and trying to prep attack at that point, as if you like, you could have Crimson Moon, you could have a whole bunch of things, but I hope the point comes across, if you get what I mean. And if nothing else, or optimally, my hope is that, as I really figure out what I want to do here, my hope is that you have another strategy to have in your pocket. If it doesn't work out and you switch away, then I'm glad you tried it. But otherwise, at minimum, if you have good arguments against what I'm saying, then at least I hope I got your brain flowing, so for your own benefit. But anywho, 8 damage, and then maybe shoot the Puppet Matron. The chance of me running into another encounter is not incredibly low, but what else do I have? Let's see. So 8 into that. I would be able to for -2 all, which isn't the worst thing. It's pretty bad, but I'm still somewhat healthy. So you know what? We are going to do this. Yeah. So we have Ringing Ears, so what I'm hoping is that I don't run to another encounter. I have 2 investigations left, so I shouldn't, unless I run into the Glitch Magician, who can appear in Ath, but again, that's what I mean by, since I'm not going to ignore the fact that I know more things about the game than I would say the average, or most people playing World of Horror, because that's just, I do live in World of Horror, that's just me on this channel. Whether I want to be known as one of the people playing World of Horror or not, it just happens to be the case. Anywho. Was Puppet Matron my second encounter? I'm gonna say it was. I don't remember. That's not good. Let's see. I'll keep the Blessed Shell on me for now, even though my Doom is rising quite high. Again, to talk about difficulty, Blessed Shell would probably see more use in easier difficulties, because again, in easier difficulties, Doom does decrease at the end of every mystery. Even if it decreased by 1, that basically gives you a Blessed Shell use, as opposed to nothing. So, yeah. Let me think. Botanist Ramen, I guess we'll do Botanist now. There are quite bad encounters in the hospital, but anywho, I should really just get empirical evidence. This encounter, by the way, I have things to throw. I could arrest her after throwing the meat. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Or can I do that? 8 damage, right? Okay, good. Yeah, let's do this. Oh! Ah! Okay, good. I almost missed that. If I will probably miss that at some point. I don't worry about it, but since, yeah, we have Coma later, so I will switch that when I need to. For now, we should be relatively fine. Is there anything else I need to do? I keep forgetting. I know I looked at it. 3 reasons for... Well, 4 Doom for 6 damage. I should remember that, because that probably would have saved me resources in Puppet Matron. Maybe. Depends on my Doom. We'll let the police handle it, because I don't want to lose more stamina at the moment. But yeah, I'm not going to ignore the fact that I know more about the game, so why would I purposely choose to lose unless I'm having fun, or unless I choose it for the fun, which, you know, is a thing I could do. Again, on this channel for sure, I may gripe less about losing, which, funny enough, was a problem I had in the past, even more recently, where you know, when I lose, it's not even that I lost though, because I know people around me or people online that have seen me, you know, kind of get angry, but again, it's less that I'm ill-fated. It's less that I'm angry about losing, and more that I'm angry with myself for being bad. So if anyone ever has any examples, just know that is why I'm angry. You know, basically, if you see me throw a hissy fit, I guess is the more accurate way to say it. So, yeah, skin removal. Either take 2 Doom, or so ultimately Totoro will do 4 Doom, but I can do 16 damage, or I can cast this twice. Or once for 4 Doom and deal 6 damage. Anywho. But again, you have to be careful with buffing, skin removal, or any spell because ZKS loops, but... Or just say loops in general, to not name drop. I usually don't like name dropping, but in this case, unless, you know, I'll even take this video down if said person wants me to do so. But, anywho, let's see here. You know, funny enough... is that 16, 26, 25 immediately? You know what? No. Yeah, no. Because it's 4 Doom, unless he starts to fly closer, but that's That's RNG at this point. If I want a less RNG method, I would spend 5 Doom and do this. Because if I have to brace, I think I lose 5 Doom anyway. But also keeping a bullet is quite precious, so you know we're gonna do this and risk it. If he flies closer, so be it. Why do I believe in RNG? That should be on my side. So I need to do this, otherwise I get burns. I don't think I even get this guaranteed. So yeah, 8 strength, by the way. I would love it. But this is guaranteed as well, so thankfully, we get to do this. I should just brace here because that guarantees me 4 Doom. Unless I want to do something extremely luck-based like this. Again, I'm not, again, to talk about different strats, some players do this and it turns out just well for them. If you can reach around the 50-50 mark, then I can see how someone who does this a lot of time, again, they have the luck stat real high in real life, which, again, I attribute to them. That's actually part, well, some people wouldn't call it skill, but you can't deny that when people do this and they succeed every time they do this for, like, 100 runs, meanwhile me, I will miss one. You know what? For science, alright? Let's do it. So let's see if I miss. Okay, good. But yeah, there was someone who would miss that, and therefore they would probably just do what I was going to do and brace. Anywho, our Charisma's at 4 and our Dexterity's at 3. I mean, although, yeah, we're on ill-fated. What am I talking about? I'd rather take the 3 Stamina and the Hasty Aid than a guaranteed injury, though, so... And I'd rather lose reason there than increase my Doom. Again, this is... I know those last 2 events. I don't know every event still, but hey. So what? This is 5... Again, I think adds 1 Doom on top of the reason cost 2 Doom. So I can spend 5 Doom, heal 2 Stamina, and deal 3 damage. Which... That's a lot of Doom. So we'll start running because Stamina... Now I can at least Desperate Action, because I think there are both checks anyway, so if not, maybe I just did it wrong, but anywho. We'll quote-unquote lead Shiro-san out, because we take extra Doom for letting him out. That's also a nerf that ultimately hurts Harbinger a lot more, because again, on Harbinger, Doom doesn't decrease at the end of Mystery, whereas in other easier difficulties, yes, while Doom still increases for leaving Shiro-san behind, Doom does still decrease, I'm pretty sure. And even if it doesn't, you have other mysteries to decrease Doom. So, again, I'd like to restate that fact for the record. You know, funny enough, Daddy's Girl, and 8 strength. Do we have the 6th floor? We do, so I think we have the 6th floor in the lighthouse, so, cheers. Meanwhile, moving on to Coma, or do I want to do Ramen? Yeah, let's do Ramen and then Coma, so that I can make use of all my police station, even though... We only have never mind. We only have apartment and downtown investigations. Whoops! I might want to level up, but at this point, yeah, I think what I'm actually going to do is spend all my So, I'm going to take a gamble here. Why do I do this to myself, man? Well, I mean, I can brace, and if I do get what I wanted to do here, I'm going to just brace into, I guess I might as well switch this while I'm here. So I'm going to do 2. So I spent 1 Doom to get 2 funds and switch Doom. And then I'm going to spend 2 more Doom here, getting another pack, or a pack of cigarettes. And we'll smoke this near the end of Ramen, unless I'm in Counter Lockout. Again, the Counter Lockout is something that a lot more people don't know about. But I know more about because I tested it extensively, and for the most part, I'm more familiar with it because it happens to me. That said, yeah, I can still at least brace right now. And if I didn't have Crimson Moon, could I have been able to do this? Yeah, I think we have Blood Moon, yeah. So Blood Moon really hurts me here. Because unless I want to take a risk, I mean, I could. You know what, for science. Let's see how unlucky I... Alright, immediately. I might as well just roll with it now. But, because if it's at least back-ended, I mean, as I always say when I'm doing plays like this that are 80, 90, 70%, I can miss 1, missing 2 is just completely bad luck, however, so at this point it doesn't matter. I might as well guarantee it, because I'm just going to Desperate Action next turn anyway. And if anyone ever says to you that 70%, 80% is not 50-50, well, it was 80%. 80% is not 50-50, I would like you to present this clip to them, or I will clip it myself and present it to you. Exposed Ribs, thankfully, is a better injury because you don't need more than 10 or 11 max stamina. 9 max stamina, people are still willing to gamble with. Heck, I'm willing to, but at that point, I don't want to risk any more. So, yeah, so we'll get out. And we are in encounter lockout, so we should be able to... I don't remember if I have Takshisan. That will cost 2 Doom, however. No, I'm going to smoke cigarettes now, because next mystery, I'm just going to visit the police station again and trade all of my experience for funds to get more cigarettes while I lose funds here, but that's ultimately 2 Doom, so that's fine. Thank goodness I have Prepare, which is something you do need to unlock, so that's why I say, or I think most people will recommend you unlock everything before you really tackle Harbinger. Otherwise, you could just do it without it. I think you have to unlock Harbinger anyway, but anywho, that would have been... Actually, that is nice for Coma, so we'll hold on to that. We'll trade Stamina for Reason, because I'm a bit worried about my Doom. Because anything could happen. Or if I just fail both Mystery and Encounter checks, you know. We're ill-fated, I don't remember. That's Stamina. Gosh dang it. Well, I'll be getting enough experience here, so I don't need to do... I don't need the extra experience. I think that's Thorough Investigation, which is 15, which is ultimately 1 fun, but let me do a quick check here. So Takshisan is 4th, and each one of these is an investigation that uses a cigarette, so therefore I will need to get another pack of cigarettes. We don't have the second encounter check, so really I just need to worry about the damage I'm taking here. So I still want to get out of Coma with... I know I won't be taking more than 6 stamina because I already have 8 strength, unless I get Frostbite, but that's something to think about later. So therefore we're going to heal Reason and move on. I have a light source actually anyway. I should have healed stamina, but we never... The run's not over yet. So... Also, I don't think Fujigo or Kazumi did anything, but it's nice to have them in case I want to brace punch. But you get the point here. So if nothing else, to show that characters that start with weapons are just... You know, they're not starting with terrible weapons, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. So keep that in mind, both, not just developers or people who are trying to patch the game or, you know, figuring out the balance of the game. If anything, it's a reminder, but also the people who make their own custom characters. If you give a custom character a weapon, they are immediately stronger by default, unless you give them... No, even if you give them the shovel. Because again, that's a lot of Doom you don't need to spend, at least on Harbinger. But... did I switch this? I did. I was supposed to get another pack of cigarettes. Let's actually... Oh, I'm not going to take the risk. I'm going to actually just police station here. 2, 3, 4. And then we'll visit the vending machine. My Doom is rising high, but... I would rather the buff. Especially if I run into an encounter. Again, I don't know. At this point, I don't know. So if I run into an encounter and bad things happen... Also, I'm going to Witch's Tree really quickly. We're actually going to visit Monument. Ask for Reason. Ask for Reason. Or 2 funds. I'm willing to part with that as well. Ask for Reason! No! Can I sell the Blessed Shell, by the way? No, I can't. I could sell this, because I have a lot of Reason. And the Mummified Heart. I know I have a light check, but we should be fine. I probably didn't even need to give that many. Also, why is it... No, 2 funds is scaled already. Okay. And then we'll prepare once... And then we'll move on. So, I've essentially traded a lot of the items I had for, to decrease Doom. So, and we have Reason healing there anyway. Actually, you know what? While we can visit it, we might as well. And yep, we can't do it anymore. So, away I go. I think I visited the Witch's Tree twice already. So, let's find out if we survive. Yeah. So, we're definitely going to throw the brick. I don't want to run. Oof. I think I'm going to go for a brace double attack. That will allow me to shoot my way out, maybe? Well, let's do it and find out. What do you want from me, man? What was that? 2 attacks, so 92% into 82%, or let's just say 90-80%. I gotta end this video soon. I just forgot I needed to do something, but... Man, that's... Okay, well, actually, funny enough... No, I still would have shot for enough damage. So, we're actually gonna shoot our way out here. And let's hope we don't run into... Well, even if we do, at least we have the Nicotine Rush buff to counteract the nicotine... or the ringing ears. Unless I want to pop my ears, I guess I could do that. What does this do for me? I think this hurts me, right? I don't remember. I don't want to take the risk. Because I'm so close. I do want to win still, so, yeah. So we did get price hike, but it's fine. And we might even level up. Hold on. Before I take a bath, let me look at what we have. Dexterity, I fail. Charisma, I fail. Light check, I no longer have a light source. So I do need to rest once. Second encounter, I completely forgot, but I can rest once. So if I rest once, I have 6 stamina, 5 reason. If I take a bath, I have 7 stamina and 6 reason. So I need to heal reason in the bath, I think. No, I'm only losing 3 stamina. So I should just heal reason in the bath. And I do want to heal reason in the bath, because if I heal stamina now, I won't have 3 stamina for Takushi-san, which is important because I want to be able to desperate action him. So, yeah, strategizing what I want to do. But anywho, yeah, we don't have anything else. We have a lot of spells to forget as well, but we'll see if we can even cast them. Yeah, that means I don't need to rest, actually. So we should be fine. I will forget Kinfin Ritual. There's no way I'm going to be using this, so, yeah. And then we don't have a bullet for Takushi-san, but that should be fine, too. So let's find out what we can. And we have Masochist, so... we don't want to take that much doom if possible, so we're gonna do this instead. Oh goodness, I need to hit this. I need to hit this really bad. 85 into 75. What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean? Oh man, what do you mean? Oh my goodness, what is going on? Maybe I should have Blessed Shelled. It's too late now. What? Oh, actually, I can't even win the moral victory anymore. You know what? As much as I say moral victory, against RNG, I'm willing to just eat it in the face. So, also, nice ally attack. But... So what can I do with this? I think I just have to go for this. This is 16 damage if I can hit at least 2 of these, so we're gonna hope for that. Can I even throw the Blessed Shell? What else do I have available? That costs Doom. That costs Doom, so... Fujiko, go! Good. Fujiko actually pulling through for me here. Although I might still die, I think, if I don't remember. I wanted to say Puppet Matron. Let me actually think. Was Totoro actually second? What were my mysteries now? I mean, I can win the moral victory here, but you get what my point. Ryder was definitely not, and I think Totoro was one of the first. Ribcage Woman, I want to say was the first, so that's why I say Puppet Matron. Okay, good. It was Puppet Matron. So yeah, we're fine. We're perfectly fine. There's probably other ways out. We'll even do this because I can. Hey, more bullets. But, hey, we completed the run. I guess I can reflect on things. But yeah, Fujiko there. If I didn't have Fujiko, was there a way out? Otherwise, I mean, I guess I'll let you think about it. So I won't take up more of your time. If you want to support me, do so. If you have anything to say or you have any challenge runs to suggest, I'll think about it. Maybe make changes here and there, just so that's not too much RNG. Otherwise, I'd like to thank you for watching at least, and I'll see you later.